Here we go on a merry review adventure looking at Trackmaster's Day of the Diesels characters, Belle, Flynn, and the new look Diesel 10.
Give us back the old face!
First up, let's look at Fiery Flynn, who comes with a pumping wagon which is fairly poorly detailed, and a flatbed truck, which does not seem to hold any of my freight from previous sets. So this has me wondering as usual what is going on here. Anyway, in a frenzy of frustration, I just pushed all this aside. On my first attempt to load a battery into Flynn, I accidentally opened up the wrong compartment and found a bunch of little weights. On my second attempt, it revealed to me that Flynn needs a AA battery, and once inserted, Flynn gets about his business with typical Trackmaster speed. I'm pretty sure this addition to the Trackmaster fleet will make you happy, but it's lacking some basic detailing. Those who choose Trackmaster tend to enjoy the larger scale compared to the size of a take-and-play model. I found it interesting to compare a take-and-play Flynn to a Trackmaster Flynn, and I'm going to be very daring here, and I feel the take-and-play Flynn has better detailing and paint finish than the Trackmaster version. The take-and-play Flynn is also surprisingly large. So which Flynn do you feel is better detailed here? As you'd know, I'm always on the warpath in relation to detail on toys. I did take it upon myself to lift the look of Flynn, and I used a method which I detailed in my previous video. It only took a few minutes via some very easy detailing to really make Flynn shine. But this should be done back at the toy factory, considering how much I paid for these Trackmaster sets. I did do an investigation into the 9V conversion to make him rocket powered, but there's not enough room inside Flynn for a 9V battery, and this had me investigating my now enhanced detailed pump truck, and sure enough a 9V battery will reside in here easily, so Flynn can be rocket powered. Let's look at Belle, who comes with a ladder wagon and a yellow throwaway truck. The first impressions of this lady are lovely, and when powering her up I see there's a requirement for a AA battery, so she can roam and do the Trackmaster waltz. Trackmaster have done a really nice job here with Belle, and she grabs the eye far more than that low detailed ladder truck which looks more like an infant's toy. When looking over Belle, she really does impress with her moving parts, but very strangely, her Belle is rendered almost like a micro Belle. The low detailed ladder truck has moving parts to add to play appeal. Belle's face looks lovely. Is she the Mona Lisa of the Thomas range? And when compared to a take-and-play Belle, again you see just how large and well detailed the take-and-play Belle is. Even the Belle is done correctly. Seeing the scale similarity between these two toys really surprises me. Take-and-play seem to be lifting their game. And sure enough, I went in to see if I could rocket power Belle with a 9V battery, but unfortunately there's not enough room to have a 9V battery reside within her. And now Diesel 10, who comes with a Dieselworks tanker and a non-character truck. First, let's examine the truck, and I have to ask, why is this not a troublesome truck? All it's missing is one very inexpensive sticker, and it would lift this truck to becoming a character. I find this omission astonishing, and do have to wonder who's making decisions about these toys. There's a Dieselworks tanker which looks like a redressed standard Trackmaster tanker. The Dieselworks logo on the tanker is a nice touch. I'm pretty sure this would be a popular little truck in many people's layouts. And now for Diesel 10, well, I'm not sure if he's a fire starter or just plain dirty. Maybe he's got grime measles. Whatever it is, it's occurring on him in a very regular pattern. Pinchy is there, but unfortunately again the arm is not articulated. I would certainly like to see a moving arm, but I'm not impressed with this new face, which is so different to the classic Diesel 10 we're all very familiar with. Please do the simple thing of leaving a comment on this video which face you prefer. I've certainly made it clear which one I prefer. Let's take a sighting for a moment and look at two 2010 Diesel 10s, and the subject of this review a 2011 Diesel 10, as there's some very curious things going on here. The key difference with the 2011 pack is the inclusion of a Dieselworks tanker. The twin pack 2010 Diesel 10 cost $22, while the 3-pack Diesel 10 cost $34.95. The artwork depicting Diesel 10 on the 2010 boxing shows the villain face. And to my surprise, I have both the villain and happy CGI face via the 2010 packs. Also note, both 2010 packs come with troublesome trucks, while the 2011 pack is missing this very simple addition. When looking underneath at the running gear, they are all struck 2009 via the licensing info. There seems to be different codes on each model. I wonder what they mean. Once I give these guys a spin, I'm pretty sure your keen eyes will see some cosmetic differences. And it seems the black paint, which used to be used to detail the rear windows, is now used as dirt detailing. And I'm sure all of you know by now, the devil is in the detail. And detail seems to be becoming a very rare item. And while we're talking about Diesel 10s, my advice would be to grab any Diesel 10 that you see which has the old villain face. If you have one, wrap him up in cotton wool. I'm pretty sure the old villain face Diesel 10 will be sought after by collectors. On installing a power supply, you will need a C-size battery, which in this model feels like a lead sinker. I do see it's got some extra weight added to the rear of this model. Like the previous version, this Diesel 10 can be rocket powered by a 9-volt battery, which resides within the diesel, and it's incredible fun to do this very simple battery swap. But I'm not sure how long the gears and motor will last if you're out for this sort of fun. Anyway, that's my examination of 2 new Trackmaster characters and one much happier, older one. And now let's gaze at the glory of these trains doing the rounds, and as we all know, accidents can happen. Well, in the intro piece, I was trying to emulate the name of the Diesel 10 pack, which is called Diesel 10 Takes Charge. And I was trying to get footage of Diesel 10 taking command of this railway. And in real time, Diesel 10 is actually moving frightfully fast because he's powered with one of those 9-volt batteries, which turns him into a rocket-powered Diesel 10. But in a strange way, all the fails that happened to me ended up being fairly entertaining. And I was really after footage of him smashing through things and making a getaway. Now the camera I'm using to get all this is one of those little Casio FH100s, and they're remarkably inexpensive. They're only a few $100s. The problem is the high-speed footage that it shoots is actually very low resolution. So if this was blown up to HD resolution, it would look like a spilt porridge. I think it's very timely to say, considering everyone now watches video on these little eye things held in the palm of your hand, I'm not sure what the HD revolution is all about. But then again, I'm straying into a topic that YouTuber Chris Prillo, or Luckeronome, would be far better off chasing instead of me. Because I'm so low-tech, even a caveman looks far more advanced than I do. And I think we're almost up to the take where we're on the ramp and the jump, which was part of my end piece, and Diesel 10 makes a daring escape, scuttling away in the opposite direction. I don't know how he got out of there, but he did. Maybe he's gone looking for his old face. And my cranky crash was my first attempt at getting an end piece, but then I thought it's always more fun to see something jumping, especially if Diesel 10's landing into a whole bunch of those low-detailed bits of rolling stock. So maybe they do have a purpose in life. Hope you enjoyed this video, and enjoy whatever you celebrate this time of year.